We want to enable, create an environment for the learners with special need to be able to learn with ease, access education opportunities, business opportunities, and live a dignified life. How do we do that? We first give knowledge and skills and work on the perception and the attitude of the society about persons living with challenges related to their physical frame. And in these specific terms, we are talking about learners, children, who are our subject.
And we want to empower them. We want to bring them out from the hidden places in the society, and we want to show the world that people enabled differently or people living with physical disability can achieve it. And through CNET, we will reach them.
When we started the research, our plan was to start by training trainers of trainers. So we identified our students from Meru University of Science and Technology, and Kenya Methodist University, and Murang'a University. And these students, we have trained them.
Application which is targeting the university students all around Kenya. Not only university students, but people in colleges and other institutions, like where you go after Form 4. If you took a step and you did not start selling socks and you joined somewhere, so these app target such people. So the main problem it's fixing is a problem where people, like let's say once you're done with your university, you just have the knowledge from the books. You're not exposed to real world problems that people in your career path are fixing. So let's say like the app brings people together. So it's targeting like taking a person doing engineering in KU and a person doing engineering here. Then they are put together and given a chance to share their ideas and also to cooperate in projects. So if you are a developer and you have been in places like, let's say GitHub, you can cooperate with a person from another country to maybe make some open source project. So this is the main idea of the project. So are we together? Yeah. So it's a marketplace. Like you go to a market as a seller or a buyer. So let's say you have an account, James. You know, during the account creation, you shall state, I'm a fan of football, I pursue this, I can do this best and that. So the application is also targeting corporates and farms and other businesses where they can come and look for potential employees or even freelancers. So we shall take, let's say, I can do web development. So in my account, I'll say I can develop an app, I can do this. And then we shall say, let's see, Safaricom and Ajira. See, people know about Ajira. So we can utilize such an API to get jobs closer to the people in the universities. So it's bringing bigger companies to a reach for guys like us. Because it's hard for you to know that, let's say a company in Nairobi somewhere wants a web developer and we're in Meru. But if camp is there as a bridge, you'll be able to see their post. Let's say something like that. Or use of AI to filter through people's accounts and see capable people to do a certain job. So it's acting as a bridge between the businesses and the possible employees and the freelancers in the universities. So, okay, from a development view, the architecture used to build the application. It's done with the normal web development technology, Python, for the AI and the back end. We have the front end where we have the normal web development structure. We are using a database which is cloud-based. It's Azure offered by, Azure is a distribution for a document type database called MongoDB, which is offered by Microsoft, or you can use AWS we are using those two, AWS and Azure for the development. So this is the main idea. I've explained it. So also the platform shall be a data collection center. You see, when you, like say you're using a normal app like Facebook, though that's a breach of privacy, but if you go shopping for shoes, the next day Facebook will be offering you offers on shoes. See it? Like, if you use another application externally, they're able to get that. So your information by the users that shall be posted on the application can be of use in the following ways. So personalized ads. Like if we see you're a follower of football, the next day we can give you an ad on the ticker. If you follow racing and something like that, we can give you something about Toyota and their vehicles. You see, it shall offer available information for businesses. So let's say you are, let's say you also follow cybersecurity or such. You can be alerted by a company which sells secure this, we offer this security. So it will also offer a bridge where people, where investors can be able to see the very feasible customers. So, and also, we can also include parastatals, like the government, World Health Organization, let's say even health. You see, we have all the university students together. So it will be easier for health to use this platform to let you know, like, wow, the loans are available. You have to do this to your account. You have to do this. So the application shall make it easier for people to share information. Like the government can do this through the platform, other than using the TV. And people like us don't have TVs, or even if you have them, we use them for other purposes, other than like following up the news. And currently, people don't wake up and like switch on the TV. They wake up and check their mobile phones. So instead of checking like, okay, you'll be checking your WhatsApp messages, but as well you'll be able to see what's going on in real time. So the data collected through the app shall make it easier for learning. So the government will be able to see most of these students are complaining about, let's say, higher cost of electricity around the universities or such, because eventually people will be airing out their concerns through this application. So information gathered, like we can see, like you can be able to get information from the application and be used for governmental planning. So the platform also brings about, it's an innovation center. So let's say I'm here doing a project about, let's say, a greenhouse. And there's a guy in KU as well doing the same. It will bring about the ability of corporations working together as a team, though remotely. So we can work on, let's say, do you know about open source projects where we have many contributors, but they have never met. They use a site, let's say like a platform like for developers where they use like, let's say GitHub, where you can give an open source project, then allow for people to give their ideas, snippets, and like branches. So we shall be able to make hybrid projects, like something which is an idea from a guy from KU, a guy from where they came together and built something that is, let's say, higher than you would have done it alone. You know, many minds together are better than one, that's a fact. So also, by bringing such innovations together, sponsors can be able to identify them easily. Because if it was not for this Innovation Week, you wouldn't be knowing many projects that people have. But through this process, the innovation, people are able to air out their money. So if it's done online, where bigger companies, like companies selling pipes, will know these guys are doing this, we can sponsor them with these pipes and that. So there'll be more productivity among the youths. And eventually, this will create people who have experience. Like, not like now when you're done with university, you just know PVC start for this. But you have never used a PVC pipe if you are doing those things. But if you are able to cooperate in a simple project, you work with this and that, even if it's virtually, you'll be more experienced than a guy who just did studies and nothing else. So we also have entrepreneurs. Like we have a friend of mine who is selling, let's say, shoes. It will be easier to post your shoes in this platform, other than like to walk around telling people I'm selling shoes or using WhatsApp. You know, you can market using WhatsApp, but it's not such effective. But with other people of a given age, let's say university students are from 18 to, let's say, even that, you'll be able to get the targeted market. So, and then this will help us build the youth actually, because the youth will be trading amongst themselves. Like you can see most people selling our shoes are old people. They are already lived their life. But if you buy from a youth, you'll build another youth. Then you'll tell him I'm selling this. And that way we'll not have broke youths who are thinking of doing funny things. So that's all about the application. So the problem with the development actually, the code development is moving well and much has been done. But bringing the app to the outside world shall be a challenge. So that's why the university comes to play. So actually the help needed is support from the university in order to bring people to awareness of the application. Because we can have software development is not just making the app. There's marketing and such. So my ask is not actually financial, because in software development, you can't have like a fixed budget. Today this is cheap, tomorrow this is cheap, technology is changing. So coming up with a fixed budget about the project can be cumbersome. But for now we are testing for feasibility. if it's something feasible, something that can be done, and if it shall be of help, you know, to the society and the targets. So the main help, the help I would like from the university, like support, like you know, like tips, like, because actually I don't know the cost of hosting services on the internet, database ratings, because for now we are using a database. I'm using a 2 GB space for prototyping and such, but data from all the university students might be more than, it's a lot of data. So also lack of awareness in me of the outside world is somewhere the university come to play. And also, because we want to exclude other people from this thing and like make it an exclusive for the university students, the university can offer information which will be also be used to verify you're a student. Because my friend who is outside there will also want to have an account here where you can see what university students are going through, what we are saying in the posts. But for exclusivity, the university shall also come to place by offering, let's say, maybe information they already have to connect, to make sure that the guy creating an account is a student. Okay, I'm the only developer on this, being developed as a web application and also an Android. So the person who has experience actually, okay, the development on Android is, let's say, 50% done. Though developing an Android app and a web app, for one person, it's too much. So then I would also want if there is anyone who is good at using Samarian forms. Devs know about that. It's for C#. So if you are good at that, you can talk to me. This is my number, and that is all. If you have a question, you are welcome.
Yes, appreciate him. Now, questions to the presenter.
Yes, maybe I did understand what problem you are solving and what you build your particular. Is it an app or website?
Yeah, it's a web-based application. Let's say a website.
What will it do?
And
I didn't understand that.
so what it comes to do, it's offering a platform where cooperation and collaborations can take place. So it's bringing about all the university students. Because if you study here, let's say a course here and a guy who did the same course in another university, you might be somehow different. But together, where the platforms allows you to say, hey, I'm building this robotic thing. I'm not so good at programming. Do you have a guy somewhere else doing the same and is good at this? So at the end, we shall have better results. Actually, it's not solving an existing problem, but it's like improving on the current, education. Like people are able to come together and, build better things. And also brings about, you see, let's say it's like GG plus Facebook plus GitHub. You can sell things, you can post your memes, and then you can cooperate. So it's therefore, if you want to go and see memes, you'll use the social side. If you want cooperations, maybe you're making an app, someone else, it's doing the same, you can do the same together. Then if you sell shoes and such, you can also get a better scope on your market. Yes, you can sell them locally, but with the app, you'll reach more people.
So after I have graduated from university, I should leave the platform.
You'll continue, but let's say now, we shall have a current user who is actually in the university. Then we shall give those who have left another name, because they're also people and they're still youths until their 40s. Maybe we can give the account a 10 years validity.
Okay.
So like, if you used to sell shoes and you are done with it, you are still selling shoes. So kicking you out will be unfair.
Okay, and how do you expect to make money from this all?
Oh, money. Eco. Sana. So, first is personalized ads. When we see in your country, you said you love football, Betika comes to place. If you love this, we shall use personalized ads, advertisements. The other way is, let's say, HELB wants to post to all users that the loans are ready. They'll have to pay me. So, corporates they'll bring in money. And, you know, like you see in like the WRC, those sponsors who came. So if we have a project, like a big project goes on through them, you know, the app will also be among the people who made this come true. They made this come possible. Sees it? So the app will also benefit from projects that shall prosper from it. And from an app, you know, money comes in many ways. Actually, I can't explain some of them. Even I can sell your information. Like, like there are many ways. Once I have information about you, it's very important. If I know you love this and the governments want to know what the users are doing now, how they are doing this, I'll be there. Give me money. And start. Yes? Yes, actually we are using high-end security. You see, I'm doing computer security and forensics. So your privacy is assured. Actually, I could show you the code, but no. We are using latest technologies. Yeah, with Python it's developing and many people are doing it. So we have high-end technology there. You don't fear.
Yes, Manason.
Yeah.
I think if I've gotten you right,
Yeah.
you have a lot of work to do. Because joining Facebook, Gigi, and Giga, you know, one thing, it might be,
Well,
just wait. I think it's not possible that much, like the reality of the visibility of your project. Making all those things into one might be a problem to you. Number one, you might fail to achieve maybe one of your objectives. Are you getting that?
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of data. You know how much data Facebook stores?
It's a lot.
And WhatsApp?
More than a lot.
And then you want to add it to Gigi, and then you bring it to one?
So in programming, you have relations. You know, you just create one account, but then all the, like, they are, okay, it's about to develop. We have relational data. So like, your username only shall be used. Let's say you just said Meru University. So we shall link you to people, posts, making an ad. I'm selling shoes, where am I? Meru. So this Meru shall be linked to any account that says Meru University. We don't have to keep all like reputation of data. And then development, there is, okay, we are developing it in a given approach where you have many applications. The application is divided in sub-apps, smaller apps, then put it a container. It's containerization, where you have smaller apps put in one, then they are displayed as like one. It's called Docker, where you put many small apps like one. So where you land, you shall be landing on the, let's say, the social page, where you post memes, I'm feeling happy. Now you're on Facebook, let's say now. The first landing page is like on Facebook. Memes, people showing their cars and everything. Then we have a tab where you will go to the market. So the market is a different app. Okay, it's not a different app, but it's like in a container. It's like in here, you want to go to the innovation and search. You'll go to Meru first. Then you shall go to this. So the architecture is actually smaller apps in one container, where you can navigate to and fro using alive links. It's another thing. So, do you have another question?
Let's start for him.
There's one, wait.
It's a very good presentation, a
Yeah.
very good project.
Like,
You're dealing with a lot of data. And
Yeah.
which means you're dealing with a lot of PII, customer identifiable information. So what are the security mechanisms you're implemented to safeguard the people's data?
Okay, the first thing, I'm working with top companies like Google, where they have, services that are making it easier for me as a developer, to implement such things. Okay, we are using those RSA, hashing, and everything. But if you work with Google, they have predefined functions and, ways to do things, like recaptchas and such. So, actually, I'm not developing everything. There are available services out there. Firewalls, everything. So, actually, my approach is leaning behind them. So, like you use Google to those recaptchas to prevent robots and such. Then use defined libraries like RSA, for encrypting, decrypting, and such. Well, it's broad, but I'm not developing all that. We are using already available technology, and also bigger companies which security is not a concern. We're using them. So I'm not like the programmer to all those stuffs. We have available technologies that I'm using.
My concern is you said you secure people's data by all these technologies.
Yeah.
How will you protect that data yet you are the one who is selling it?
Well, I did not mean to sell it literally, but there is those account policies where you say, can my information be shared to businesses? Can this? And then we shall not be selling like your password and we shall be selling you love football. And that is not something you can complain that I love football. So I'll go and tell Betika I have a bunch of guys who love football. Maybe you want to tell them to bet tonight. So I'm not selling your personal, like, sensitive information. It's simple information from your, like, let's say, search histories. If you go in the app and you search for, let's say, Nike, tomorrow I tell the guy is selling shoes, you can send an ad to this guy. He loves shoes. So we are not sharing the actual, like, private information, like, actually, we shall not allow you to put in private information to our database. No health records, no nothing. Just normal things. I'm in Meru, I do this, I love this, I can sing, simple things. So then the simple things are the ones that shall be used. Using AI, you can make predictions. That's not so correct, but you can be close to what someone likes, what he looks like. You can evaluate a person. So using evaluations, we might not even use straight information. We can use those assumptions then for personalized ads. But I'm not selling the information to someone who needs it. It's not there to do anything else. No. It's for business and advertising, actually. Yeah.
Let's clap for him.
Okay, thank you for listening.
Then the last presenter, I think, is Paul Pirago.
My name is Paul, and I'll be presenting Prometheus personal assistant. So basically, Prometheus, okay, let me start to describe my problem statement. So basically, during deployment in the software development lifecycle, most companies during pen testing is always recommended to before deployment. This is because apps nowadays are normally hacked, especially during the period of COVID-19. The hackings were really up since most people are on the internet. Hence, pen testing is mandatory. However, the process is most of the times it's done by qualified professionals, like people who have done pen testing. Basically, those are cybersecurity people, and most companies tend to outsource this kind of people, and it's expensive since it's very hard to hire a full-time cybersecurity analyst in a place. Also, one of the other things is also so the opportunity here, developing an AI that can be able to do pen testing on a certain site before deployment and give a report based on grading. So it's a grading system based on the security on your site. The system also, to make it also accessible and easy to use, you just use it by the click of a button. It comes in 3 forms. The first one is the web application. The second one is a WhatsApp chatbot, and the third one is an API. So basically, I have a demonstration. Let me start with the WhatsApp chatbot. So basically, you can move your phones and try it out because the system is already live. You save that phone number, and then you text it to the word "Join Congress Fence," and then after texting it, it will send you an authentication showing you that you're all set and the AI is ready to go. So it's a mobile phone application. So basically, let me, if anyone wants to try, you can follow with me so that I don't lose it. Okay. So basically, let's start with the mobile app. The web app will be easier. So you just, after typing that, you can type hello to see all the available commands, but most of those ones are on the personal side. So for our scope of study is let's say pentest github.com. So basically, you can see the system returns a message of the vulnerability report, for example, of GitHub. Let's start with the all cookies use secure flag. Session cookies use HTTP only flag, and cost restrictions are in place via the same site flag. Content is not visible via cross-origin resource sharing files. HTTP public key pinning header not implemented. All hosts redirect to are in the HTTP strict transport security preload list. Referrer policy header set to no referrer, same origin, strict origin or strict origin, among of other sites. So basically the ranking system exploits likelihood of your site low, grade A+, score 100 out of 100. So that is GitHub's pen testing report. So I've also done one more for our school's website. So basically, it has a grade of F, and the score is 10 out of 100, meaning the site, and it also has a detailed security report of how the site can be exploited and how it can be, at the same time, how you can correct the things so that the site can be more secure. So basically, a sample report like this, you need to, for example, you can outsource a cybersecurity analyst for even 50,000 just to stay there for 2 days and do pen testing. And you can do it at the touch of a button from your WhatsApp phone. And the good thing about this, it also allows, and also another disadvantage of paying for a pen tester, you'll have to basically, also, it's only technical people who can assess the results. In this type of app, even the administrator or even the one, for example, the school, can just come and see even the score. And basically, they can tell whether their site is secure or not. So it can be used not only by the cybersecurity guys and the developers, but also by everyone in the organization. So let me show you the web app version. So basically, this is the web app version. If you don't use it from your phone, you can use it also on as a web on the internet. So let me, for example, so the API can fail at times because of network connectivities, but just another site. You can look at the sample report. So this is the site I already did. I think there's a problem with my network, that's why it's using the cookies. So this was already done on the phone. But okay, so this is github.com. This is the overall grading, so you can see anyone in the organization, they can know like the results, because normally a normal web scan report is normally very complicated. As you can see in this, one of our sample. Let me finish. So these are the results derived from the measures taken for security for the site github.com. So this one is the web version, and the sample API version is this one. So you just append on the URL 127 the host, you just append hello world URL github.com, and then it gives you the structure of. So basically, this is the API endpoint. This is mostly for developers. For example, if a company wants to use our system and they don't want the WhatsApp chatbot or our web version, they want to implement it in their own website. Like for example, this school wants to implement it in their own system. Like they can use the API version instead of using our own system. So and then they implement with whatever they want, like which they can choose whatever they require. So basically, so far the system has been testing, and with very few resources we can get this system up and running. Because it's, for example, if we have Google Cloud provides a system, for example, the API version that runs on Twilio, this is the callback URL, as you can see. This is the IP, and this the you come over here and then you set it up on Twilio. So basically, you set up the IP as the callback. So basically, so far I've been able to get this system up and running, with zero resources. Google Cloud gives you $300 free for the first year. So we can be giving customers free 3-month trial, and then when they start, after they're done with their free trial, that's when we can start asking them for payments, and we'll have used zero resources to deploy the system. So in terms of scalability, it's eventually, because for now it's quite expensive because I'm using Twilio. We're using MessageBird, since for per messages, that's 0.5 Kenyan shillings, that's 0.5 cents per message. So it's very scalable and can easily reach many people. So any question?
Let's appreciate you.
Yes, we've said that the system is up and running, right?
Yes.
Have you secured it? Like patent?
Not yet. Not yet.
Najua umetupatia kila kitu, tunaweza tukaweka hiyo information. Then, what's your business model?
So yeah, basically, there's an existing system, but okay. I mean, for the pricing for the WhatsApp bot, that's 5 cents per message. 0.5 cents per message. So basically that can, and for the server side, we can easily scale, and then without any resources apart from now when it comes to now after 6 months, after 3 months of their free trial, now we can easily start charging for the system. Like, so basically the user there'll be a free version and the paid version. The paid version will be able to monitor this. We'll be able to monitor, for example, the whole system for example, in Meru University. For example, from the bot, I can do a mass scan, which is a scanner that scans every system connected in the school for eternal blue vulnerabilities. So basically, that's on the free version, the premium version. So it can also monitor systems within the school. So there's one major challenge about that. So for such systems, basically, I'm running system commands, shell commands. For me to run the shell commands, basically it takes more than 20 seconds to run a command. And the callback URL for the WhatsApp Twilio, the maximum time per the callback URL is given to return the response is 20 seconds. So basically, as much as you'll run that command, it won't return the user the information about the scan on the bot, but it will email you as a report. But now, to combat that, we need to, because I'm using a sandbox account on Twilio, so I'll need to pay for the system so that you can be able to increase the callback time for the URL, and yeah, stuff like that. And the payments those are the charges to get but now you need a legal business to get the details of starting the bot on production, since it's still in sandbox.
Then, who are your customers?
My customers are the institutions, programming, for example, programming companies that do IT. It will remove the need of having a guy to do pen testing after every deployment. And also, a school like this, they can, for example, they want to confirm whether the computers they have a certain vulnerability. Eternal Blue is a vulnerability that allows remote code execution. So meaning anyone on the network, whether they have access to your computer physically or not, they can access your computer remotely. So basically, it mostly affects Windows 7. Yeah.
And finally, from me, what do you expect? What's your ask?
So basically for the main problem with the system, the first year will be if we can get 90,000, sorry, Kenyan shillings, a free account cost is $300. So I can give a customer 3 months for free trial and open separate accounts for them. And at the same time, I'll be able to have enough money to fund even the account for the next year and the other year without having to because let's say account for $200. The server I have currently is runs on 16 GB CPU and has 2 virtual CPUs. So that one costs around 10,000 a month. So it can accommodate. I've not yet done the actual testing, but I've used the same system to test it for the maximum number of people it can handle, and basically it can handle a load of 10,000 people per server comfortably. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I have like 5 questions.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
Yes.
tell me how you have investigated your system
Yeah.
against giving me a false positive when I'm using it. Right?
Yeah.
You tell me, it might tell me that I have a cross-origin resource. Let's say it might tell me I have the most common one is a source.
Yeah.
How sure am I? Is it that if it detects a source that
Yeah.
it's there?
Yeah.
On
Okay.
a scale of 1 to 10.
I'll give it a 10 because the code is doing what it was meant to do. So basically, the only way to confirm that is by me making the project open source so that you can go through the actual code. But now, since I can't do that since people will steal the software, basically you can, let's say for example you write in a code that does 1 + 1, it will give you 2. Like it won't give you 3, it won't give you 4. And that's exactly what it's doing right here. I'll leave the system is still up, so you can test it, and also you can use maybe other sources if you have one, or just go write a simple code, for example, that can detect cross-site scripting, for example, and then you come check whether in the system says. So those are some of the ways you can use to confirm that the system is actually doing what it was meant to do. But other than that, I don't think there's any other way we can use to find that. It's the same way WhatsApp will tell you it's end-to-end encrypted, but there's no actual way of proving that it's actually end-to-end encrypted.
Okay, you've given me 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so far has not been achieved by any system. So the other question is, who are your competitors?
There's a site here, for example, pentesttools.com. Let me show you a sample report of let me show you the site we already scanned, for example, GitHub. Things you can be using if they need a free account to.
Keeping on the competitors.
Yes.
Do you have does it have a regular update of your maybe database?
Yes.
Because they are new and they are really things that are coming out.
Yes. So basically, so for the light version, it does like there's some common web capabilities that are known. So for the in-depth scan, so that one also comes with the package of scanning the network, for example, the school network, for example. Basically, it scans the common ones, but for the in-depth, it scans for now such vulnerabilities. And so can you do it? Pardon? Yes. Can you? Yeah.
The other question about rate limiting. So you're saying like, let's say you have like 100 subscribers.
Yes.
Let's say these 100 subscribers are running your tools.
Yes.
Against one target. Let's say
yes.
This target has rate limiting implementations in place. So is there a way that a user has the option to maybe reduce the threads?
Yeah.
Maybe the number of requests they are running on a target, because you might find people using your tool maybe for bug hunting.
Yeah.
And maybe they are limited all over, or maybe they even blocked in some. So is there a workaround for that?
So yes, currently, when you use my site, when you go to the web app or you use the WhatsApp version, it records the IP address of the person. So basically, if you ever if your IP was blacklisted, or for example, you've used, if I got your question correctly, for example, this host has been scanned too many times by this same particular target, basically it will limit your IP only, your external IP. So, but what you can, basically to mitigate that, by creating an account, we'll be able to know.
I mean,
yes.
controlling your users. Like now,
yes.
It's on a G-Class system.
Yes.
That free server.
Yes.
You know, Google, if you are nuisance to maybe other companies, they delete that server.
Yes.
They delete it.
Yeah.
So what, let's say now you are running it on a test on Google.
Yeah.
So what will prevent Google from patching your
okay, so basically there is no way of if you check here, so before scanning you have to acknowledge viewing is a bit bad, but on the terms and conditions,
let's say a user wanted to 10 scans per day or 20 scans per day.
For the free version, yes, a certain user is limited to a few versions per day. So for the free version, there is no signing up. So basically, if you open your, for example, if you have a VPN, and then your IP, you're using the site, and then you reach this certain IP, reaches more than 10 scans, and then I limit the scan. If you change your IP, basically it will automatically give you more chances to search again. And also here in the free, you see it has 0 free scans. If I activate my VPN and go to this same site, it will not ask me to upgrade. It will show me 0 free scans. Yeah. So basically, what you do in the light scan just does a lightweight scan, so it won't stress the resources. But now in the in-depth scan, you have to sign up. So basically, we have control over who is using, for example, what you are doing and stuff like that.
Okay, the last question.
Okay.
Is it related to web technology, any web applications?
Yes.
Or is it holistic, that it goes even to the network and stuff like that?
So it's not limited. But for now, it's a prototype. So I didn't have a lot of features. But basically, it will do networking like the way I've explained. It can scan our Wi-Fi network, a network over for the devices vulnerable to a certain, for example, eternal blue. That's the one that I've implemented, but I cannot demonstrate since I'm only, like, I'm using my hotspot as the network. But now I can show you how you can go and try it out. You are network, try the command. For example, if in the network, you can try scanning for devices vulnerable to eternal blue. Basically, the sample example, which is still up, it will return a scan results of all devices in the network that are vulnerable to eternal blue.
So basically, what you go for your scanner?
Yes.
As opposed to something that is open source, like a template scanner, like UPA.
Yes.
What do you make?
So basically, most scans, like this one, let me show you the sample report. Most scans in this report, they are technical. Like, most of the scans are very technical, and it needs someone who knows the actual, like who knows actually pen testing to be able to interpret the results. But if you see at my sample report, I've been able to make the system to be used by even a normal, like even the office, even the guy, for example, sponsoring the project, they can be able to, at the tap of a button from their phone, this is the same report, the data comes on your phone, just that text format. You can be able to see, like basically a ranking, 12 first, total score, exploitation possibility, and the grading. Like, I've made a grading system that makes the system to be used by anyone without even IT background, in case you, yeah. So that's where, and the simplicity of the system, it also is what differentiates it from the other systems. Thanks. Any other question?
Just to ask, what is the vulnerability analysis scanner that you have? And what is the system that you use to give the CVSS scores? You are seeing that vulnerability is high.
Basically, for the test that I'm doing, as I mentioned, this is a prototype version. So for the prototype version, it's basically calling another API. So well, that can't be done in production. It's not economical. But in case we get funding, we'll be able to implement an in-house that does all these scans. Because for now it will use a lot of resources. So basically, for the prototype, I'm using it's an API within an API. I don't know if let me show you an example. So you can see this is my API, but in sense it's an API within another API. So that makes the system much more slower, and that's why some requests were failing on showing it. But this is only the prototype, and for the production we'll implement an in-house solution that basically will be much faster than this one and much more cost-effective. Any other questions?
Position and what is the role of each member and what are their skill levels?
Basically, I'm alone. And also, basically my skill set I'm a full stack developer. I'm also good at cybersecurity. I'm also good at deployment and Kubernetes. So basically I can be able to take the project here, like here in production, but also I can be able to scale it. But with the help of some other developers, we can be able to make a much more efficient system. Like, since I've already told you, this is we need to perform an in-depth scan, and also we need to implement an in-house solution because what I've done here is not very economical, but it's only a prototype.
How are you planning to make money out of this?
Through the in-depth scanning, companies will be paying for the premium package, the pro accounts, which will be, for example, a pro account depends on the more features you have, the more your system will be. I mean, the more features you have, the more it will cost for your account, monthly account subscription.
Do you think your solution is better than what is existing?
Yes, in that it can be used. The inbuilt solution, the current solutions, they are like the sample report I've showed. Like you give it, for example, to an organ. Like, for example, here, like if you are depending on a vulnerability scanning report, like you basically have to depend on what the pen tester told you, yeah. But for this one, even a normal person with no coding background, even the administration, the business development side of the team, they can be able to see that the system has actually been pen tested, and this is how secure it is, and like so basically it has a lot of like the users they can be
You're done.
yes.
Okay, so then what's your market? Who are you targeting? And who is currently populating that market?
So basically,
what makes you better than them?
Currently, most companies before they do deployment, they hire pen testers, or if your company has the developers, they have a background in cybersecurity, they'll use them to do the pen testing. But this also like reduces the time needed for taking a project to production. But now using our system, because also in the in-depth scan, it shows you what you need to do to implement the current security vulnerability found. So for example, for now, it can only advise on Django. So for a Django-based application, after finding these security vulnerabilities, it will show you what you need to do to implement that. Currently, GitHub has that, but it doesn't really show you, it only shows you the vulnerabilities and not what to do. Like it shows you, for example, the following dependencies were found in your system, in your code, for example.
So how are you planning to, my interest, okay, leave aside your technical know-how and skill and all.
Yes.
I'm now looking at the market. How are you going to penetrate the market? What strategies do you have? What is your business model? How are you planning to take this off from that knowledge base now to practice and get customers, use it, get them to trust your solution better than any other technique?
So currently I have two solutions. One is through use of external assist companies. For example, like with support from such an organization here, we can easily get salespeople who will go to other companies in Kenya, local tech companies who are our #1 target market. So they'll go to such companies and then do a marketing demonstration of how the system will be used and answer now such questions concerning on whether it's secure, if you can trust the information coming from there. And also the second one, we can use targeting ads. Like basically we look for, because such resources, they're normally mostly developer sided, if I may say. Like it's mostly tools for developers and network administrators. So basically, by target ads, we can be able to advertise our system and how it works. That's also the second means. But I think the most feasible one will be the one for having external assist companies. For example, an external assist will get commission for a finder's fee for showing us another company that will benefit from that system. So that's another thing. And by giving them like we can give them commission in form of like free, for example, pen testing for this amount of time, or free system maintenance for this amount of time. So such things are the incentives you use to show other people, to like make other people want to show others to use it. Yeah. So with time, I believe it will have through the economies of scale, it will be able to, like, we won't need to do any more marketing once they reach a critical, for example, number.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Let's appreciate him. Before I invite the child to address us, this is just a housekeeping announcement. Please, guys, send me your correct name, because I can see them here today. Some of you have to address us.
So guys, ladies and gentlemen, and those who are following us on social media, we really want to thank the presenters who joined us today for the presentations. They've been very engaging, and I believe you've been getting the right kind of advice from those who've gone ahead of you. We started with a keynote speech in the morning from one of the investors who would really wish to also invest in such kind of innovations. And one of innovators also, who is funded by funded by the university. And we'll get to see more of this. There are others who will be joining us tomorrow that are doing innovations that have already hit the market. So we'll have more of this going forward. After this Innovation Week, we are going now also to host more others, serious ones, from schools going up, so that by the time we get to Innovation Week like right now, we are sure that we have refined your work and we have the best out of the best that can compete and can be incubated on our first floor of this building, so that you are allowed enough time to actualize your idea. Yeah, besides just allowing you to come sit here and share your ideas, especially for the team that applied, the 42 projects that we are looking at, almost 100 students. The other benefit that you will get, besides just presenting, is to access this premise, given a space somewhere to sit and conceptualize your work and continue to actualize it until you incubate and even patent it and hit the market, because that is the aim that we have. All right, from across all fields, like what we've been looking at on security, IT, web applications, food systems, food science, agriculture, health systems, all backgrounds, even engineering, all the backgrounds that are drawn from all our 8 schools. Our aim is to ensure, besides just the class knowledge that you acquire, we are also able to enable you as a student to build yourself up as an innovator and eventually be able even to hit the market, employ yourself, employ others, and create a product, patent it, have a copyright, be able to be represented. You know, you represent yourself based on the skill that you've acquired, all right? So that is the platform that we are creating for you, and that's why we really need the serious, you give it the seriousness it deserves. And I know there are many of us right now, maybe they're doing exams and they're not able to come over. But those of us who don't have exams and you have free time, you can come and listen to what others are presenting. You can come and ask questions. You can come and try to interact with them and know exactly how did they get to where they are, and what kind of output have they generated from the kind of innovations that they are doing. So this is our 3rd day. We are left with 2 more days. Tomorrow we also have 2 major keynote speeches from our collaborators and our friends that we've contacted that are going to speak to you based on their background in technology and all, and even in their field of study and how you can actualize your innovations. Some will join us virtually, some will be with us here physically, and we hope for very fruitful engagements. So when you don't have a class and you're free, and you don't have an exam and you're free, please make sure you come. We sit and learn from those who've already gone ahead of us. So like Rogers has indicated, we anticipate to issue certificates, especially for those who participated in this first Innovation Week and have had projects that they are doing. So we expect that you indicate clearly your official names, indicate clearly the title of your project, so that we can issue you a certificate which you can use later in life, so that you can keep it as a souvenir and know that you were part of this and you were able to showcase to us the kind of innovation that you've been working on. We also, you can see, our media team is here. We are also live on YouTube, and we are on our social media, university social media pages. And we keep on sharing the links to the Zoom, especially for those who are in their offices and are not able to come here physically, or they are not within the university physically because of the COVID protocols. We ensure that other people are able to follow up whatever is happening here remotely. So if you have your friends or classmates that are, or colleagues, for those who are staff members that are not able to come here physically, you can follow us through our social media pages, and they are recorded, so you can replay it later in case you had an exam and you're not able to listen or see what is going on. You can follow this up for your benefit. So we really appreciate your coming, and we do this again tomorrow. And anytime you come in, please make sure you sign the attendance, because we are using, especially for the presenters, because this is good for our recording and for follow-up even after this. One last thing that we do as the Innovation Center, especially in the docket of innovations and entrepreneurship, we link you up with mentors, because we know all of us come from different academic backgrounds. There are some of us who are here from all the schools, drawn from all the schools within the university. And in each school we have lecturers, we have professors and doctors who are working on certain researches that are very key in linking you up and enabling you to grow academically and to be able to participate. So if you're not able to show up and you come over so that we can work with you, it becomes very hard to identify you as a student who is interested in certain research area. So we have a mentorship plan that we put in place in the docket, so that we're able to link you up with a mentor. So immediately after we finish up with this Innovation Week, we expect you now to continue working with your mentor, so that whatever thing that was not unclear, maybe many questions that you were asked while you're doing presentations and you don't have any answers to, these are the people that you can be working with, and they can be able to build you up so that by the time you graduate, especially for those who are in fourth year and for those of us who are in third, second, and first year, you can be able to work with these staff members. And in case you need external support, like what we've always been doing, previously before COVID, you remember some of us used to go compete with other universities during hackathons. We are also planning other hackathons physically here and also virtually, so that we can also now engage you with other students from other universities and TVETs, so that we can be able to exchange ideas and see what kind of innovations that we're doing. And in case we get any invitations from Konza and other partners that we've been working with together, we know where to draw the right kind of minds. So these are a very nice forum for you as a student, because like I always tell you, many of our students have gone through the Innovation Center and they have been able to establish their own companies, they've been able to establish themselves and be able to put to practice the kind of skill that they acquire in class and acquire through clubs and innovation clubs. And lastly, in the university we have our Innovators Club for students. And over time we've noticed that it's been drawing students from certain schools, and there's other schools which are missing in this Innovators Club. The Innovators Club is for all of us students from all the schools, so that we can have all the different fields represented. And you're able to sit together, like-minded students, and come up with solutions that are going to bring real change to the people of your area of study. You can also be able to collaborate across the fields, because if you're in food science, for example, and you need an app to be developed, maybe to address certain farmers or individuals or animals, you need people from across the field. Maybe you're in engineering, you're good in fabricating things that they need to be used by people. You'll need a software interface, maybe you'll need many things. So these are opportunities for all of us to collaborate, to co-work together. If you're in security, for example, you can't just stay in security alone. You're securing systems, maybe systems being used by people in a certain field. So we need that synergy, we need that oneness, so that all of you as students and all of us as staff, you're able to build one another and you're able to create meaning out of the long hours you spend in class studying the content that you're getting from class. Because we need you from here, you actualize this and you come out with a product, we link you up with the right people to invest, and then you can secure your innovation, you can secure your intellectual property, and nobody can steal it from you because it came from you. So we'll conduct many other trainings going forward, so that in case by the time we finish on Friday, we'll circulate a form, a Google form, which will expect responses from you, so that in case there are any gaps that you feel or there are any areas that you're interested in for us as a docket to bring to you as a student and also as a staff, we can be able to know the actual need on the ground. So that in our plan, we can put you in the plan and be able to create activities or events that are going to respond to the unique needs that you have. So thank you very much for joining us, and thank you, Isaac, and your team for the good work you're doing. At this point, I want to request one of us to say a word of prayer so that we call it a day, and then we can reconvene again tomorrow. Any volunteer? Let someone behind the camera to pray for us again.
Let us pray. Mighty God, in the name of Jesus, we are before you again with gratitude and thanks in our hearts. Grateful for what you've done to us today and for us. Thank you for making our lives better each day and blessing us every time. Lord, we pray that everything we have done shall be a benefit unto us and shall propel us to heights that we even never hoped for in our life. Bless everyone, bless every innovator, bless every idea we have, and grant it success in every field in which we venture. As we go, we pray that each of us will be safe until we meet tomorrow. It is in the name of Jesus we
So God bless you very much. We meet again. Thank you.